When you first walk on a college campus, the first thing people are going to ask you always is, what's your major? What are you studying? What classes you taking? And they will ask you those questions as if that's the most important question you will ever be asked in your life. You know, I remember when I first got to college, they asked me that question so many times, I just started making stuff up so people would stop asking me. Until I realized that it wasn't. Until I realized the question of what's your major actually starts losing impact pretty quickly. What you studied, how you did, what was your GPA, all that kind of stuff, all that's important. But the most important question that people will ever ask you is not necessarily what are you studying. The most important question that people will ever ask you is, who did you choose to fight for? Who did you choose to stand up for when it wasn't easy? Who did you choose to advocate for when it wasn't convenient? And who did you stand shoulder to shoulder with when it might have just been you two standing there at first? But you did it because it was the right thing to do. Because everything else is going to happen in our lives, I realized very quickly, that's all going to fade. And people will forget it. The question that will never fade is, who did you fight for? Because that's a question even long after you're gone, people will always say about you. Who was important? And who did you advocate for? And I think at times like now, in our city, in our state, in our country, and in our world, that question is more pertinent than ever.